Hello everyone, I am Devesh Atlani. Welcome to this channel. Welcome back to this channel named Inside Angle. And this is a new series named Upper Edge. Well, through this series, we are trying to guide all the fellow CA students and to help them augment their preparation. And for this, we have the best of the people in town to guide the other fellow CA students. So today we have with us uh, first Akshat Goyal, May 19, All India Rank 1 CA Intermediate. He scored 84 in the subject paper 7, EIS and SM. Next, we have with us it is Akshay Jain, who secured AIR 1 in November 19, and he secured 79 marks in paper 7, EIS SM. Also, we have with us Shreya Tibrawal, who secured AIR 1 in the recently held November 20 attempt. She secured 86 marks in the EIS SM exam. Now, we have with us these people who will guide us to how to study this subject named EIS SM, which probably is perceived as a threat and a deterrent and or an obstacle to clear CA Inter. So we have a few questions to ask them. I ask also, okay, we have Brahmar Jain with us as our co-host, CA Brahmar Jain, who again needs no introduction, but still, for the sake of it, he secured All India Rank 1 in CA Final January 21 exams. He had secured All India Rank 8 in his May 17 IPCC exams. And in a subject of ITSM in the old course, he had secured 81 marks. So believe me, guys, you have the best of the people in town to guide you. And Brahmar is the co-host for the day. I'll now ask Brahmar to start with his questions.
Okay, so we'll directly dive right into the questions. So the first question, I think, Shreya, you should proceed ahead. So my first question to you is, which study material did you refer each for EIS as well as SM? And how much would you say are the classes important for the subject? Or how did the classes help you for tackling this subject?
Okay, so basically, if we talk about the study material, I'll say ICI module is the thing which you need to follow for both these subjects. They'll cover. You need to cover those modules to perform well in the exam. Secondly, if we talk about the classes in EIS, there are certain topics which require technical assistance to understand. Because if you are not going to understand those topics, learning those answers or maybe those topics might prove to be very difficult. So for EIS, I would prefer to join or view lectures for those topics which are technical, and the teacher focuses more on making the student understand about the technical aspects rather than just focusing on learning, because the learning part we have to do that, the teacher can't help you with a lot. And secondly, I'll also like to mention, so there was this sir Murugesh Madlani, and he has uploaded revision videos for EIS, so those proved to be very helpful for me while my preparation.
Okay.
Actually, also agree with this that we have to do only the study matter in case of EIS system because the institute material is totally sufficient and complete in itself. Like nothing is going to come out of it, and doing anything else would be like just a waste of time. So just totally rely on the study mat for both these EIS and SM, and nothing more is required.
Okay. How about you, Akshay?
No, agree on both the fronts. Study material is the key.
Okay, so we have a general consensus that study material as far as EI is concerned, study material is more than sufficient, and going beyond that is not really necessary. Okay, so let's move on to next question, Devesh.
Yeah, so my question is, and this is again an interesting one, given the hype around this subject, I'm sure you all would have heard it from your seniors that this is probably a tough subject. So given the hype around this subject, what was your approach towards this subject since day one? And this question is towards Akshat. First, starting with you, Akshat.
Yeah. So there is unfortunately a hype around this subject, but the making such a hype does not help anyone. It just pushes us away from the subject, and that with something we cannot do. We cannot be away from the subject. We have to do the subject also because it's also 100. So the approach which I had from the starting was that this is a subject that requires an extra effort. Like I have to recognize that from the beginning, इसमें effort ज़्यादा देना पड़ेगा. Like sometimes we have the tendency that we are more inclined towards subjects like accounts, costing, FM. So if we end up practicing more of those subjects, leaving behind subjects like EIS, so that's वो नहीं चलेगा. That's not gonna work. अब 12th में चल जाता था ना कि हम अकाउंट मैथ कर लिए, BST को एकदम लास्ट डे कर लिया चल जाएगा. उस समय चलता था, अभी नहीं चलेगा. So even I devoted a whole extra revision to subjects like EIS, SM, and audit. So that was the approach. It requires an extra effort from the IIT.
Correct. What about you, Akshay?
So what I did was I did not know that EIS का इतना hype होता है. I did not have any connection with CA student. तो मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था मतलब इतना हार्ड होता है. मतलब ऐसा मैंने पढ़ा था कि पेपर्स हार्ड चेक होते हैं और ऐसा सब. और फिर हम लोग के क्लासेस में भी they began with EIS and they began with e-commerce. तो मुझे तो लगा बहुत easy है. It all had advantages and disadvantages of e-commerce वो सब. तो it became very easy for me. और उन लोग ने beginning से ही we did EIS and then later on we did audit. तो audit तो side में रखते हैं. But we did EIS तो फिर हम मतलब we completed the chapters earlier and it gave us time to revise those things. So multiple revisions happened for EIS, so it became easy for me.
Correct. Agree. And you, Shreya?
So I completely agree with both of them. And one more thing which I did was ki after the classes were completed, I used to keep aside 1.5 hours for studying EIS and audit. And basically in those hours, what I used to do was a cumulative revision. So if I study 5 pages of one topic today, I'll revise those in 5 to 10 minutes and then I'll start with the next topic. So by the end of the week, I'll complete one chapter of EIS along with the regular studies. So this
Perfect. So I think there's a consensus over here that no doubt about the fact that EIS requires you to put in extra efforts. But if you put those extra efforts and if you approach the subject with a positive mindset, that is, वो ऐसा सोचो मत कि वो subject difficult है, like Akshay rightly said, then in that case probably it becomes manageable. No doubt it is not easy, but then giving that extra effort, it becomes manageable, right? So yeah, Brahma, next question.
The next question is, I think there is a general perception for this subject that it requires rectifying, or as you may call it, rote learning. So what's your take on this, Akshay?
So it does require learning it a little bit by heart. But what happens is if you begin by understanding it, so then learning by heart becomes very easy. Because अगर तुम ऐसे directly जैसे I remember this one topic, Web3. So what it was that the internet accumulates all our stuff, everything that we Google and do. So that the internet accumulates it and gives us ad relating to that stuff. And if nobody taught us that, तो अगर बाय हार्ट में करने जाता तो वो नहीं हो पाता था. पर somebody taught us that, मुरुगेश सर taught us that, तो फिर उसके बाद लर्न करना इजी हो गया. तो अगर पहले अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे तो उसके बाद वो इजी हो जाता है, पर लर्न तो करना पड़ता है रट्टा थोड़ा.
Definitely. What about you, Shreya?
So I agree with him. And secondly, when you know what is required of you beforehand in the exam, you can prepare accordingly. And for the rattafying part, we can summarize that to the keywords. You don't have to learn everything. You can summarize it and reduce it to a level which is capable by a human.
Okay, something to add on to Akshay?
Yeah. So even I agree with that. We can without understanding we cannot go ahead. But first we have to understand. पहले एक बार समझ लो, फिर याद कर लो, चाहे रट लो, याद कर लो, पर एक बार समझना पड़ेगा. अगर ना बिना समझे अपन ने उसको रट लिया तो इन द एंड कभी ना कभी वो भूल जाएंगे, वो एग्जैक्ट याद नहीं आएगा. तो एक बार समझ के फिर याद करना इज द की.
Definitely. So I think there's no escaping the fact here that we have to somewhere learn something, but it becomes way much easier if you are very much clear with the concept and have a grip on the concept. So I think, yeah, that's the point. Next question. Let's move on to next question, Devesh.
Yeah, Shreya, you talked about the techniques for summarization or the keywords, remembering keywords. So my next question is, what techniques did you all adopt for easy memorization in this subject? That is, did you all too resort to preparing mnemonics or acronyms for this subject? So starting with Shreya.
Okay, so first of all, I did resort to framing mnemonics, but I did not used to make mnemonic for each and every topic or each and every question, because then there's a problem that you have to remember that mnemonic. So another way which we can resort to is to make it into a flow, a story form. Maybe we can, if there's server related certain point, you can just try to form it in a process, so that once you are remember the first line, you'll remember, acha, okay, after that we'll do this. So maybe that will be helpful.
Correct. Fair enough. Akshar, anything to add on?
Yeah, so I used many techniques regarding EISSM. First of all was mnemonics. Like I can make word from the first letters, I can make sentences or phrases or something like that, but not too much use of it, as just Shreya said. Like even then, it would become difficult to remember the mnemonics also if you use too much of it. And then again, right now, making a story out of the points, like a process that those things actually do help in learning subjects like this.
Perfect. Akshay, what about you?
We had a lot of mnemonics. Rugesh sir does that, and he's very good at it. So उन्होंने ही बना के दिए थे, and we did learn that. But one more thing on the relating front, because if you bunch 2 or 3 points, जैसे अगर there are 7 to 8 points in an answer, and if you learn 2 to 3 or connect 2 to 3 of them, then you will have to learn only one of them. But if you if you begin from the first one, then you'll go to the second and then to the third. So फिर जैसे अगर 9 points है, then you'll have to learn only 3, because in those 3 you'll have all the 9, like a process.
Got it. Yeah, perfect. So in fact, you certainly would have to resort to some kind of a memorization technique and what suits you, that is something that you have to decide for yourself probably, but you have to resort to some kind of a memorization technique so that learning part becomes easier. Next question, Brahma.
The next question is, I think usually people think that remembering the head points is enough. So what's your take on this, Akshay? Basically, I want to understand how much detail a student should go into.
Yeah, so regarding head points and details, I would say what I used to do was I would just first read the head point, I would read the content inside it, I would try to relate it कि ना head points story कैसे relate हो रही है अंदर का. तो एक बार वो relate कर लिया, after that I used to read all the head points and remember only the head points. So in the exam अगर मुझे head points याद आ जाएंगे तो उनसे relate करके मैं अंदर का भी थोड़ा बहुत याद आ जाएगा जो मैं थोड़ा बहुत लिखा हूँ. तो it's not necessary कि पूरा एज इट इज अंदर का लिखा जाए, बट ऐसा भी नहीं कि कुछ भी लिख. तो अगर आपने कोई हेड पॉइंट से रिलेट कर रखा है अंदर का क्या लिखा हुआ है और फिर आप सिर्फ हेड पॉइंट भी याद करके जाते हो, तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा बहुत याद आ जाएगा कि इसके अंदर क्या था और आप थोड़ा बहुत सही लिख दो.
Okay. How about you, Akshay?
I completely agree with that, because head points are important. They do, give importance to that. क्योंकि अंदर का, if you skip the helping words and shit, and if you skip the helping verbs, then it will be very easy, because if you learn the keywords and the head points, so they'll give marks.
Yeah. Something to add on, Shreya?
Yeah, so basically I agree with both of them, and one thing which we can take care on is ki by making the notes, if we are summarizing, instead of just including the head points, we should keep on writing few keywords which are actually included in the para behind in the explanation, because sometimes what happens is you remember the head points, but writing for that, it becomes difficult to remember. So that is important.
Definitely. So I think all in all, remembering head points is obviously definitely very important, but it's not just enough. So you will have to have a conceptual clarity and have a story in mind, basically what is written inside. And that would be helped if you remember the key points within the head points. So yeah, that is it, I think. So moving on to next question.
Yeah. There are a number of people who advise that one should give more weightage to SM rather than to EIS, because SM is a bit easier as per what people say. And I want to know all of your take on this. How did you all maintain a balance between the two subjects, both during your studies as well as during those 3 hours of exam? Starting with you, Akshay.
As I said, we began with EIS first. So the opposite happened with me. I gave more importance to EIS than to SM. And as they say, SM is a bit easier. So we did it afterwards. So it was easy for me to give more importance to SM then, because I was completed with EIS before. Like if you do those in parts, then it will be easy for you. Equal importance.
Got it. What about you, Shreya?
Yeah, actually, I follow the same strategy as Akshay's. Even my lecture planning was similar. So,
Got it. Got it. Anything to add on, Akshay?
Yeah, so in fact, my sir used to say that although SM is a bit more easier than EIS happens to be more scoring. Because if you know the answer, there's a greater probability that you will get a full marks in EIS as compared to SM. So you have to balance both of them while attempting the paper, do whichever you have more confidence in. Because that is my paper, what happened. EIS was actually when I first saw the paper, I thought everything was out of that part which I had left. So I was just scared of EIS at that moment. So I first attempted all of SM, which was comparatively very easy, and then came back to EIS and with a relaxed mind I thought, and then I was able to attempt.
Perfect. Perfect. So I think all I can conclude from your talk is that both are equally important, but then how to maintain a balance is something that you have to figure out for yourself. You can probably attempt the part that you know better in the exam and followed by the other part, but maintaining a balance is very, very important, right? Also, guys, the next question, Brahma, then I have one more question to ask.
So Shreya, how did you prepare and attempt the MCQs? As in, does it require some extra effort, something extra apart from the regular course that we go through?
so actually, fun fact, I did not know that we had MCQs in the exam till 2-3 months into the course, and then later I realized that there are MCQs too. So, but overall, if we see, if you read through the chapter, because in EIS you have to follow the module, and if you read through the module, you are going to be able to answer the MCQs because they pick up the MCQs from the lines of the module. So I guess holistic approach will help you with both subjective as well as MCQs. And obviously you can practice the questions given behind the textbook or some other questions, ICI material.
Yes, I would also agree. No specific preparation is required for MCQs. It's just as you prepare for the subjective part, reading the book, that would suffice for MCQs as well.
How about you, Akshay?
No, while preparing the subjective part, yes. I did not do especially like only the MCQ revision or something like that.
We seem to be having consensus on almost every questions here. So yeah, I think the MCQs also not require any specific efforts, but be sure to cover the course holistically, or I would say cover the whole SM. Yeah. So next question, Devesh.
Yeah, so basically, the speciality of this particular series named Upper Edge is that we are going to have a very unique question in every particular video. And this is a time for the unique question. Do you all, or did anyone of you ever feel that मैं ये subject क्यों पढ़ रहा हूँ? पढ़ना ही क्यों है ये subject? है ही क्यों ये course में? Any one of you?
I would say ये तो definitely दिमाग में आता है कि subject क्यों है syllabus में, institute हमें क्यों पढ़ा रहा है, ये आगे क्या काम आएगा, मतलब एकदम क्यों ही लगता था बस institute हमारा patience check कर रहे हैं, subject हमें जबरदस्ती पढ़वा के ऐसा लगता था. बट हम क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं उस पे क्लैरिटी है, क्योंकि हमें पास होना है, उसके लिए पढ़ना पड़ेगा. तो अब सब्जेक्ट है सिलेबस में तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा, तो उस पे क्लैरिटी है. बस वो है क्यों, दैट वाज द क्वेश्चन.
So I think everyone everyone who's watching this video can certainly relate with what you are saying, and in fact, you all, I mean the viewers, even someone like Akshat or even the All India Ranker one has the same thought that every student has कि ये चीज हमको पढ़नी क्यों है. But then the fact is, universal fact is कि पढ़ना पड़ेगा, and there is no way out to that. The probably only way out is that we accept that it is there in the course and somehow exam tak पढ़ लो, फिर उसके बाद just make sure you don't have to appear for that paper again, right? So yeah, having said all that, I would like to thank each one of you for joining this and for giving your insights. I am damn sure that after this particular video, all our viewers will be a little bit more confident than they were before watching this video. So thanks a lot to you all once again for joining us and giving your insights. Thanks to the viewers for watching this video. If you like, then certainly like. Do comment if you have anything to comment upon, and needless to say, do subscribe to this channel for more such videos. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya, Akshat, and Akshay. It was a wonderful time having you here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
it was good being here.